Zombie apocalypse. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create your own synth patch. Now first thing we want to do is open up a software instrument. The default patch is fine, although you can open it up this way, but I find this just as easy. Software patch instrument, create there, then we can go here, and I'm going to load up this one here. It's called the ESP, Polyphonic Synth. They're all very, very similar, but I like this one because it's really clearly obvious what the A, D, S and R is and where it is. A stands for attack, D is for decay, S is for sustain and R is for release. If it's got a really short attack, just like that, it means the sound comes in very quickly. Great for bass lines, this one. If I move the attack all the way to here, when I press the key, which you can't see, I'm pressing the key now. Did you hear that? It takes a really long time for that sound to go from when you press the key to actually coming in. So I'm going to create a really cool bass sound. So I want a really short attack, as short as can be. I want to know that as soon as I press that key, it comes in. Next, I'm going to set the decay slider. The decay is how long it takes the sound to go from its loudest peak down to the sustain peak. Okay? If ever you forget any of these things, you can always click on the quick help button over here and it tells you everything that you need to know. Alright? So there you go. Attack slider, there's your decay, sustain, and the release. And release is how quickly when you take your finger off, it goes back to 0 again. So again, we want it all quite short and sharp here. We don't want a really long sound going on for ages. I want to know that when I take my finger off the key, hear that? As soon as I take my finger off, it's still ringing. That's your release. Okay, get an idea of how it works. Have a play around with it, get an idea for what you want to do. This over here is your different oscillators. That creates all the different sounds. Just going to turn this off for a moment. You've got your sine, your squares, your noise, your sub filters. Sub filters are really good on this one. Get a really fat bass sound. You can hear the noise, it's adding a load of to it. Overdrive, distortion, I can add loads of distortion. Alright, I can add loads of chorus if I want to. On a really big fat bass sound. Alright, you get the idea. You don't need to know how all of this works straight away to create good sounds. Just have a play. That's exactly how I learned when I first started doing things. I didn't know what frequency was at the start. Now I do. It's to do with how the low frequencies go through the high frequencies, overdrive, chorus. Have a play, all right? There are great musicians out there creating music. They still don't know how half of this stuff works. They just know that it sounds cool. But the most important thing is understanding this A, D, S and R, and particularly the attack, particularly the release. Okay, how quick the sound is going to make a sound when you press it, how quickly it's going to stop when it takes it off. If you want to create some kind of floaty patch sound that's quite sort of ethereal, you might want something a bit like that. And all the other synthesizers, I'll just show you a few of them, some of the presets on them. They've all got their own different things. You'll see ADSR in there. So what we can do, we can always have a look and see other synthesizers, see how they're similar. So look at the ES1. There you go, there's your A, D, your S and your R. As you cut off, you'll see similarities. What I sometimes do is I'll start with a preset. And I might have a play around with the preset. Change the cutoff frequencies. Again, just have a play with it all, see what you can come up with. Alright, change the oscillators, etc. When you're ready to save it, they all work the same way. You can... And again, save as. Again, you want to go to your folder that you're working with. Alright. Mike's Rubbish Synth Patch. There we go. Save that. That's how to make it. That's how to make. That's how to make and create a synth patch, just like that.
Zombie apocalypse.